Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. This is Hira. So in this video, I wanted to talk about pets and their relationships with humans, especially in terms of consciousness. So a couple of weeks ago, a very dear friend, her pet cat, all of a sudden died. So it was like a family pet cat, and it was living with her sister at the time. And then all of a sudden, it got really sick, and they took her to the veterinarian, and they had to put her down. And that night, we were messaging each other, and she was like, I've been with this cat for 17 years. And that's a long time to be with another being. And she was telling how, like she really felt its loss. Not just her, but, her sister as well, and I'm sure her parents too. And so I wanted to dedicate this video to Carmel. That was the name of that cat. And it got me thinking that night while I was meditating about humans' relationships with animals, especially the ones that we label as pets. Not even just pets. I would even say if you're a farmer or you have farm animals, you form a bond with those animals, and in turn those animals form a bond with you. I lived in a monastery when I was in grad school for a summer, and I remember one of the first lessons that night, the day I got there, that night, the head teacher gave a lecture to all the students that had just arrived, and most of the students were international students, so from the Western world. And in it, he was emphasizing, really emphasizing that as we go through our time in the monastery, and even once we leave the monastery, one thing that we want to cultivate within ourselves is adab. And the word adab is an Arabic word, and it has layers of the onion. It has so much depth to it. You can write books upon books on adab. So a very crude, I would say, or superficial translation of adab is good character, and I would add to it good character that is taken with intention and attention. So why is it that you want to do what you're doing, and what are your motives behind it? You want to get as clear as you can be about every action you take in your life. And then the next, the teacher was explaining adab, and then he's telling the students, you want to learn adab even from the dogs of the city I was in. So I was in the middle of nowhere, of the desert of Yemen, right? So in Pakistan, it's considered a third world country. So in Pakistan, they consider Yemen a third world country. So Yemen is a third world country for a third world country. I mean, it's a very monastic lifestyle where I was. Very monastic. The most monastic lifestyle I have ever lived in my life had to be in that monastery. And it was very simple, nothing fancy. I've seen Buddhist monasteries in South Korea, and they're very beautiful with the ancient architecture, the curved roofs, the woodwork on the outside of the building, and beautiful paintings. But this monastery, no, plain building. Just 2 stories, a top story, didn't even finish it. There were stairs going up, but they decided they didn't want to finish it. So there are wires hanging out, the windows aren't covered. Yeah, it's very simple. There was no furniture. We slept on foam mats on the floor. Very simple life. And the teacher was emphasizing that you want to learn adab even from the dogs of the city. And it was such a profound statement. And then he went on to explain. He was like, well, look at how well the dogs behave. And these are just dogs just roaming the city. They were just, I never saw them. That's the crazy thing. But I heard them, but I never saw them. And what's funny is that the doors of the monastery are always open, day and night. Anyone and anything can walk in. And even the windows we don't really have windows. I had these panels that open, and anything or anyone could come in if you really wanted to. But the dogs never did. They never walked in to the monastery. They never took the food that was laying out for all the students. We even ate on the floor. And what's even more interesting, they didn't poop everywhere either. Isn't that interesting? I don't know where they lived. So I heard them, but I never saw them while I was there. My entire time living in this monastery in the city, I never saw these dogs. So, and it got me thinking. I was like, yeah, I think the teacher's onto something. That if we wanted, and if we were open to it, animals could teach us. They could teach us about ourselves. And then this got me thinking about my friend as well with the death of Carmel. And I was thinking like how like animals are just themselves. They're not trying to be something else. Like a cat is just a cat. It doesn't even need to call itself a cat. It simply is what it is, right? There is no cat that's trying to be a monkey or vice versa, or a dog that wants to be a fish. They simply are what they are, and they deeply accept who they are. It's very beautiful. And they know from their knowingness, their connection to all that is. So when they see a human or their owner, they don't need to put labels on the owner. They don't have to be like, oh, well, my owner is angry today. My owner is ordinary today. My owner is just annoying today. No, they don't care, because they know who they are, and they're very comfortable in themselves and their beingness and their knowingness and their connection to all that is, that no matter how the owner presents themselves that day or how the owner comes home from work that day is irrelevant. So it was so amazing. One of the directors at my daughter's daycare, it was Friday, and she was like, I'm so excited to go home. I'm going to see my dogs. And she was like, you know what's amazing about my dogs? They love me no matter what. I could be tired, I could be cranky, and they still love me. And I was like, that's amazing. And animals do that, whether it's a cat or a dog or a bird or a bunny or a snake. Like, they don't care. Like, because they know they're very comfortable in themselves. They're deeply rooted in their beingness and being whatever animal it is, that your life is irrelevant to them. Really. I mean, not that I'm being mean. Like, and I think cats show this really well. Like, you know, you'll love a cat, and then I'll just like blow you off. I'll just be like, no, I don't have time for you. Because they're very comfortable in themselves, and they're like, they don't need you to love them. They don't need you to take care of them, because they know that they'll be provided for, right? I love birds. I don't own a bird, but like, and I don't think I'll ever actually own a bird, because I don't like the idea of being a bird in a cage myself. So, and I feed the bird seeds, but I know that even if I didn't feed them seeds, it didn't matter. Like, because they will be provided for. That no matter how they go through their day, no matter where they find themselves, they will find food. Because they want food, and they know that they're connected to all that is, and they know who they are, that they will find food, that it is given. So you don't see cats with backpacks walking through the streets, because they don't need to carry provisions around, right? So because they're very comfortable in their knowingness and their beingness. And this is like a gift that animals, especially pets that live very close to humans, offer to humans, is that presence. It's the gift of presence. The presence of the moment. They live in every moment, accepting who they are and accepting the moment itself too, no matter how it presents itself. It is profound. So, yeah, I don't know how else to word it, how else to phrase it. But if we can just sit with the pets in our lives, or even watch, like I love sitting and watching the birds come to my bird feeder. It's so amazing. I don't know. I don't even know the birds. Sometimes like I'll be like, oh, I think I know, like it's an American robin, or it's a red-winged blackbird, right? Or a chickadee, a black-capped chickadee. But sometimes I don't even bother looking up the bird, because it doesn't matter. I just enjoy watching it come to the bird feeder. I enjoy watching it sit on the hook or the wire. It's so amazing. It's the fact that like they're connected to themselves, and then me watching them helps me connect to who I am. And through that greater perspective, to that greater connection, I feel connected to the bird as well. Like I remember telling a friend, I feel like these birds are like my honored guests. Like I love hummingbirds. Like I get so excited when a hummingbird comes to my bird feeder. I love it. And I feel like I'm honored by their presence. And I feel like for my friend too, like Carmel, like she honored them, she honored their family, and she gave them the gift of presence, the gift of no labels, the gift of like spaciousness, right? The gift of no judgment, the gift of just beingness, that no matter how good or bad your day is, we can just simply sit on the couch together and just be together. And I think it's really profound. And it goes back to what my teacher in Yemen had said too. Like they can teach us adab. Like one of the layers of adab is awareness, and if animals can teach us awareness. So I hope this video helps, and hope that wherever you are, you appreciate yourself and the animals around you. Until next time, namaste.